Okay. Yeah, I think we're up. Hey Izuku. Yep, I'm up and we're gonna continue this otome game. GENSOU MANÈGE. Oh yeah. Hey Ian. Good afternoon. Yeah, good afternoon. Oh yeah, I'm gonna continue the story. I think we're at chapter 3. So I'll probably do like 2 chapters. Probably. And then we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Let's start the thing. Load. Yep, we're on chapter 3. Nope, we're not near the end yet. We're still at the common route, so we have like another 5 chapters, I guess. Oh, it's been a week. Okay. 6 days had passed since I'd begun working at the... I still don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah. Today was my day off, which I spent relaxing at home. Currently, I was preparing dinner. Magic food is fascinating, but it can't replace the fun of cooking it for yourself. A click and a creak came from the front entryway. Oh, it's Arnold? Okay. I called out toward the door as it swung open.
Ah, tadaima. Hora, omiyage katte kita zo.
Oh. He handed me a familiar-looking box. Oh, macarons. Macarons were my absolute favorite. The logo on the box told me these were from that shop I liked too. What's the occasion? Were you nearby for work?
お前仕事頑張ってるみたいだからさ。帰りに寄ってきたんだ。
Oh, how nice. Okay. But it's so out of the way. He would have had to go the complete opposite direction from home. Thank you. That's so thoughtful.
どういたしまして。喜んでくれてよかったよ。
Okay. He ruffled my hair. I've been coming home from work fairly late recently, so moments like these had become a rarity. I'll save these for dessert after dinner. The snack plate should be on the top shelf. I stood on my tiptoes and reached up.
これか?
Arnold appeared behind me and brought the dishes down with ease. Thanks.
無理する前に頼めよ。こんな頼りがいのある兄貴が隣にいるんだからさ。
Damn, big bro. Big bro.
なんだよ。これでも2歳も年上なんだぞ。それとも俺じゃ頼りないか?
Okay, he's older by 2 years, so he's like 19, 20. Oh. No, that's not it. I just thought it was funny. The way he took care of me was certainly somewhat brotherly. Still though, I don't know how to explain it, but siblings doesn't feel quite right for us.
そっか。
No? We were already in that relationship, huh? And well, they're not really blood related. He technically just got adopted by this family, so fair enough that he thinks he's more of a big brother to her. But then he also has a route, so I wonder what happens there.
マカロンは俺が用意するから夕食の支度に戻っていいぞ。途中だったんだろ?
took the box from me and I resumed cooking. Granted, all that was left was to add the garnishes.
それで
Arnold began placing the macarons on the plate.
遊園地の仕事はどうだ？いじめられたりしてないか？
No, everyone's very kind. Getting used to things, being in front of guests used to make me nervous, but I'm managing now. I was making progress with awakening my magic too, albeit not very visibly, plus that was still a secret.
よかった。楽しめてるなら心配いらないな。
It's hard to work though, not that I expected it to be easy, but still. You like reporting?
楽しいし、毎日充実してるよ。
Okay.
取材であちこち移動するから大変だけど、じっとしてるのは苦手だし、俺の性に合ってる。
Monsieur Daniel might be surprised to hear you say that. Arnold's father was a high-ranking officer in the military, currently stationed in Paris. Arnold never seemed keen on continuing the family tradition, though.
まあ、そうだな。親父とは違うと思う。でも記事にだって力があるんだぞ。武力だけが力じゃない。記者みたいに真実を明らかにする仕事は世の中にとって重要だと俺は思ってる。ペンは剣よりも強しって言うしな。
Getting the truth into the hands of the people. Menu. Let me save that. Yes. Well, we're not trying to get this route, so I think it's this option. It doesn't sound like the Arnold I know. I thought he mostly wrote about happy things. Shrugged.
俺だって真面目な記事を書くこともある。記者はニュースを選ばないんだよ。
I see. I learned something new today.
あ、そうだ。お前に話したいことがあったんだ。
No. Arnold finished the painting. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Why? Why now? Okay. Thank you. Arnold finished plating the
うちの新
macarons.
聞でレーブ移動遊園地を取り上げたいって話になったんだ。こ
Oh,
んな田舎じゃ一大イベントだからな。で、明日取材に行くんだけど、園長を紹介してもらえないか。
hey, I suppose I might be able to get you in before we open.
本当か？じゃあ頼めるか？
Not at all, I'll ask. Yeah, he's a journalist. An article would mean more visitors for the Reveille. If that's how you pronounce it. That was an exciting prospect, but part of me was worried. Got to be careful, there will be trouble if he finds out about the magic situation. I made a silent promise to myself to take extra care. Arnold and I left early the next day and arrived at the Reveille before opening hours.
これがレーブ移動遊園地か。立派な設備だな。
Arnold eyed the park's features closely. Suddenly, though, he fell silent and his admiration turned to curiosity. What's wrong?
いや、なんでもない。
And if you say so, I'll go talk to the director. Wait just a minute.
あ、頼む。
I explained the situation to Monsieur Hugo, who readily agreed to the idea so long as we kept the magical aspects of the story under wraps. Arno removed his cap and bowed upon entering the tent.
DNB デルニエール・ヌーベル・ブランブール新聞社の記者アルノーです。
That ain't sus at all. Every time a character says, don't worry about it, or it's nothing. It's usually the opposite.
はじめまして。レーブ移動遊園地の園長、ヒューゴです。
Arnold's head shot up. He stared hard at the director.
ヒューゴさん。
The color seemed to drain from his face. What's gotten into him? Is something wrong?
何か？
いいえ。
Sure.
失礼しました。ずいぶんお若い方だと驚いてしまって。
さすが記者さん。褒めるのが上手だね。
Arnold smiled back before fixing his
改めま
posture.
して取材の許可をいただきありがとうございます。
こちらこそ記事にしてもらえるなんて光栄だよ。具体的にはどういったことを？
園内を写真に収めたり、スタッフの皆さんにインタビューをお願いできればと。可能なら早速今日から始めたいのですが。
もちろん構わないよ。ただスタッフへのインタビューは営業時間外にお願いできるかな。
わかりました。ご協力に感謝します。
Arnold bowed his head with a wide smile.
エマ、アルノー君の案内を頼めるかな。
Okay. Me? You're sure?
君が連れてきてくれたお客さんだし、気心知れた仲ならやりやすいだろうと思ってね。
That's
この
true.
1週間で見つけたレーブの魅力を彼に伝えてもらえると嬉しいな。
Okay. I think I can do that. If you allow me.
お世話になります。
With that almost professional sounding exchange, we exited the tent.
取材なんて許可してよかったのか。魔法のことを知られたら町にいられなくなる。
心配いらないよ。来園者にも隠し通せているわけだし。それに断る方が不自然だろ。
あなたがそう言うのなら従おう。
Okay.
エマは普段どんな仕事をしてるんだ？
Arnold pulled out a small notebook. Thanks for the hydrate. Nothing specific at the moment. I mainly greet guests or help the rest of the staff with whatever they need. As the words left my lips, a realization struck me. Wait, is this an interview?
当然。お前もスタッフの一人だからな。
I mean, we're technically one of the staff, yeah. I suddenly felt much more nervous with this new revelation.
お前もスタッフの制服を着るのか？
Yeah, I have
じゃあ
one.
写真を撮るから着替えてくれ。
Okay. Right now?
決まってるだろう。スタッフへのインタビューは営業時間外だけだからな。ほら早く早く。ここで写真撮って待ってるからさ。
It's not going in the article, is it? It most
記事
likely
に
will.
しない取材はしない。それが俺のモットーだ。
Okay.
ま、最終判断は編集長の仕事だけどな。
I couldn't say no, especially not after I'd gotten the director's express permission for this. I'm starting to have regrets. There we go.
へえ、似合ってるじゃん。お前本当にスタッフの一員なんだな。
As much as I can after only a week.
この前まで家に引きこもってたお前がこんなに立派になって誇らしい気分だよ。
That doesn't sound like a compliment.
ああ、褒め言葉のつもり。それと、かわいいな。
Okay. Okay. My heart skipped a beat. Why am I so jumpy? He's only saying that because he's never seen me in a uniform
じ
before.
ゃあ写真撮るぞ。
Okay, girl.
何でもいいからポーズ撮ってくれるか。
Okay. Entertaining wasn't part of my job description, so I struggled to come up with anything for a while. Eventually, I settled on simply holding my right hand out invitingly.
いいね、様になってる。魅力的なスタッフだな。
Well, heard the shutter click several times. Do you want me to show you around?
ああ、頼む。レイブのこといろいろ教えてくれ。
Hey Redhead. Yeah, you have a good night, Redhead. And thank you for dropping by for a bit.
勉強になるよ。
Arnold took notes while he listened to my explanations of the attractions and various amenities. His stark expression was a picture of professionalism. Does he always look so serious while he works? I'm not used to seeing him like this. It's kind of... Girl? Girl.
オートマタの説明ありがとう。もう次に移って大丈夫だ。
Okay, that just leaves...
「移動遊園地に観覧車なんて珍しいな。オートマタといい、本当に見どころが多い。
He snapped several photos.
この観覧車にはどんなお客さんが乗るんだ？
Families and couples for the most part. We don't get many single riders.
俺も乗ってみていいか？
Sure thing. I'll just
い
wait.
や、お前も一緒に来てくれ。
あ？
俺の恋人として。
Date? My voice cracked in surprise.
一人で乗る客がほとんどいないのに、俺一人で乗ってもいい記事は書けないだろ。だから恋人役が必要なんだ。
Oh, that's what you meant. My face burned with embarrassment.
何赤くなってるんだよ。
Same question I have for you, buddy. Yeah, I could ask you the same thing.
お前の動揺っぷりに驚いたんだ。
Okay. Ruffled my hair. This time he was a little rougher than usual. At least I'm not the only one embarrassed.
でもまあ、照れるってことは、俺の魅力に気づいたってことか。
Okay, dude who just bro zoned me earlier, but okay then. Well, I just been admiring the way he works, so I couldn't deny it.
そういう塩らしいお前も可愛いな。
Okay. Arnold was acting strangely forward today. It was starting to get to me. I'm getting flustered over Arnold. I must be losing my mind. Sure. Hey, Potato. He's certainly into her, just won't admit it that fast. Yeah. I can see it. Oblivious to my inner turmoil. He took my hand. Okay.
乗るぞ。
He guided me into the gondola. Oh. So this is how they look on the inside. I hadn't had the time to ride any of the attractions since becoming an employee. I missed out on turning Ferris wheel during my initial visit too. So this was my first time. It's awfully small. Our legs are touching. Oh, it's one of those. Okay.
おい、外を見てみろよ。
I lifted my gaze to the window. As the gondola rose, the scenery began to expand. People and buildings shrank before my eyes. I was instantly glued to the glass.
観覧車には初めて乗ったのか？
Yeah, I've been so busy lately. Oh, sorry, I'm not being very good guide right now.
いや、気にするなよ。その代わり別の情報が得られるからさ。
Okay. Do you... Arnold stood up and sat next to me before I could finish. Hey! The gondola swayed with the shifting weight. Sure. Okay, wait. Let me get the... config? Was it? No, I don't... Hey, what's the I have no idea how to hide the Yep, not even hiding it. Rowan tried to waste his chance, I know, right? He wrapped his arm tightly around my shoulder. Stayed there even after the swaying stopped.
こうしてるとデートしてるみたいだな。
Sir. Sir.
お前が観覧車を経験してなかったおかげで初めて乗った恋人たちの気持ちがわかるよ。この距離で相手を感じられるなんてたまらないな。それに誰も見てない密室だ。キスしたくなる。
Sir. Does it?
ああ、そうだよ。俺にはよくわかる。
Averted my gaze. I couldn't look him in the eye. You're being weird today.
じゃあもっと変なことを言おうか。
Okay.
俺はお前のことが好きだ。
It's just chapter 3, guys. It's just chapter 3, and we're not even in his route. I shit. You have to save it then. Yes. Okay, so we've decided that we're not going for this route yet, so we'll have to have to do this. You're joking, right? The words fell from my trembling lips.
冗談でこんなこと言うわけないだろ。
Okay. My voice quickly failed me.
恋人同士だったらって話だけどな。
Okay. Wait. Arno chuckled as he drew away. Are you teasing me this whole time?
さあな。
Sir! What does baby mean? Didn't seem he had been messing around, at least not entirely. I couldn't get a read on him. I don't mind. I don't even know Arno, so I'm okay with that. How am I supposed to come down from that? Hey, Tatsuya. Ah, he pulled the good old. I was only kidding. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, hi, Tatsuya. Being strung along by the man I trusted more than anyone had left my emotions in a state of chaos. Fair. Fair enough, girl. I fanned my burning cheeks.
なあ、質問していいか？
As soon as we left the gondola, Arnold broke the silence.
お前はちゃんと帰ってくるよな。ブランブールのあの家に。
Oh. Where is this coming from?
なんか怖くなってさ。
What? A shadow of unease loomed over Arno's expression. What in the world brought this on? I nodded reassuringly. Of course I'm coming home. Where else would I go?
そうだよな。悪い。変なこと言って。
He wore a lonely smile. Scared of what? I mean... Okay, I think I get what he was saying though. At least for now. He's scared that the MC will just leave with the amusement park, since the amusement park is like a traveling one. So they travel from town to town. So since the MC is now working in said amusement park, so you know, maybe one day she'll also go with them. So technically that would leave him alone. As we made our way back to the administrative tent to end our tour, we heard the fuss over by the Manège. That makes sense, yeah. It makes sense. At least for now, at least that's the answer. I know why he's asking that. Oh yeah, we'll see. We're not going for his route, so we'll see how it happens. A crowd had gathered. Huh?
どうしたんだ？
I'm not sure. Let's go and see what's happening. Oh. The rest of the staff stood in front of the Manège. The air was heavy. I could tell all at once that something was wrong. What's happening?
緊急事態なのよ。マネージュが故障したって。
Uh-oh. Broken down?
今日開演できるのか？あと時間はどれくらいあるんだ？
約1時間だ。
About 1 hour.
1時間？
That can be enough time to fix it. There was no way. The reality of the situation began to sink in.
これは取材してる場合じゃなさそうだな。
せっかく来てもらったのにすまない。取材の続きは後日にしてもらえると助かるよ。
わかりました。俺はこれで失礼します。
Arnold took off his cap for a light bow, then turned to me.
それじゃあ頑張れよ。また家でな。
Okay. Patted my head and left the park.
それで具体的な状況は？
Monsieur Hugo gave up examining the switch panel and shook his head.
俺だけじゃ解決できそうにない。彼を呼んでくれ。
Oh, we're meeting the other guy that we haven't met yet? Who?
レーブの整備士さんだよ。
Repairman. Hyun answered for me. Right, this amusement parks. Of course they'd have someone to fix things.
君はまだ会ったことがないかもね。ルシオールさんはめったに顔を出さないから。
Okay.
そうか。面識がなかったね。君に彼を呼びに行ってもらおうかと思ったんだけれど。
I can do it. We're gonna find him.
この時間なら自分の部屋にいるはずだ。一番奥にあるテントだよ。
I'm on it.
セルジュとクリアは 買い出しの準備を頼む。修理に必要な部品が出るかもしれない。リオンは明かりを用意してもらえるかな。修理のために中を照らす必要があるからね。クララは万が一営業できない時に備えて開園中止を知らせる看板を用意してほしい。
After listening to Monsieur Hugo's instructions, I ran off to find Lucio. Furthest back. This must be it. Excuse me. Is Lucio? Are you there? I timidly called out to him, but there was no reply. Again, no reply. Is he out, maybe? I decided to peek inside as politely as possible. Excuse me? I poked my head into the tent. The boy was crouched in the corner. His hood obscured his face, but his pastel green uniform was unmistakably the Rebier's. He lifted his head ever so slightly. The look on his face was anything but cheerful. My name's Emma. I started working here last week. He looked away, disinterested. Damn. He's apparently the repairman for the amusement park. I forgot how to pronounce that now. Well, the merry-go-round basically is broken. The director needs you right away. My brain didn't want to read that word anymore. Broken? That's impossible. I inspected it just last night. Would you come with me, please? Yeah, the director said so, so we might wanna. Lucio reluctantly picked himself up and collected a box of tools. He left with a sigh. I hurried after him. Monsieur Hugo, Serge, and Lion were waiting at the manege.
ルシオール、よく来てくれたね。
僕を呼ぶのに知らない人をよこさないでください。大変不愉快でした。
I gasped at the grimace that spread across his face.
それはルシオールさんが出てこなかったから自己紹介できなかっただけで、エマさんは僕たちの仲間だよ。
僕には関係ありません。二度とこういうことはしないでください。
今日はよく喋ってくれるね。そろそろ。
わかりました。
Lucio nodded, then peered into the manege.
ワイヤーは異常なし。
滑車も確認したけれど、問題はなさそうだったよ。
じゃあ、動力源ですね。内部を見るので照らしてもらえますか。
リオン、エマ。
Okay. Right. Leon handed me a lantern and we moved to the middle of the manege. Oh. Lucio bent down, opened up a small latch in the floor, and peered inside. Leon and I held our lanterns over the machinery while Lucio began his investigation. Tap things, tighten bolts, loosen others. Clearly knew what he was doing. He's like a totally different person from when I found him. His focus is incredible. Both the grimace and the glower had vanished from his face. Oh. He muttered something under his breath.
原因がわかりました。
Oh? Already? Okay, had been even 3 minutes. The glower at once returned to his expression. Huh? Menu, save. Page 2. I need to press E apparently. Okay. Just say you're amazing. How did you manage to find so fast? Hello?
白々しい。
Oh. I swallowed the rest of my
そ
comments.
れで故障の原因は何だったんだ？
蒸気機関のピストン。
One of the steam engine's
古くて動
pistons.
きが鈍くなっているので、円盤がうまく回らなくなっているみたいですね。
Okay.
なるほど。
Sergei
以
frowned.
前から老朽化していることは分かっていたが、予算の都合で完全な修理をしてこなかった。
A certain Mr. Spirituoso, hi. Welcome to the stream.
今回ばかりは予算を捻出しなければならないか。まあ、部品を交換して開演に間に合えば。
それは無理ですね。
何？
今すぐ新しいピストンを買ってきたとしても、交換には時間がかかります。僕でも半日近く必要ですよ。
Sergei was speechless.
マネージュだけお休みにして開演するのはダメなの？
ダメではないよ。ただマネージはレイブの目玉だからね。
Hmm.
売り上げに支障が出る。
Rain clouds seemed to gather over Sergei.
何か方法はないのか？
僕から提案はありません。整備士としていい加減な仕事はできませんから。
What are we gonna do? Gloomy, contemplative silence fell over everyone present.
そうか。
Monsieur Hugo's eyes started to me.
魔法を使えばいい。
What?
魔法でピストンの動きを補助すれば1日くらいは持たせることができるはずだ。
それは。
Do you think I can do it? I'm practicing every day, but I've never actually tested it on anything before. I'd love to use it to help you all, I'm just not sure. Wasn't even remotely confident in my abilities. In fact, my understanding of being a witch was so poor that I couldn't rightly say whether I'd even awakened anything at all all this past week.
大丈夫。
Okay.
僕は反対です。
Lucille suddenly spoke up louder than I'd ever heard him before.
魔法は危険です。使うべきではありません。
Oh.
大掛かりな魔法ではないし、うまくいくとも限らない。だから危険は
絶対にやめるべきです。
そう言われてもね。
とにかく僕は反対ですから。
Lucille pressed his lips together into a tight line. The director went quiet for a moment before turning to him again.
すべての決定権は園長である俺にある。
勝手にしてください。
Lucille moved away and plopped down on the ground. Pulled his suit down tighter, cloistering himself away into his own little shell.
少々大人げないところを見せてしまったね。ルシオールはいろいろと抱え込ん
I
で
can see.
気難しいところがあるんだ。俺も無理に意見を通したくはないんだけれどね。
Fair. He smiled weakly.
さて、改めてお願いしたい。
Hmm.
君の魔法でマネージを動かしてほしい。もちろんうまくいかなくても構わない。
Okay. I've only been here a week. I really might as well be a stranger. I want to be useful. I want my magic to be worth something. That's why I came here. I nodded, resolved. I'll do it.
頑張ってね。
Thanks. Oh, let's see if it works. I turned the lantern to Leon and looked hard at the Manage. I took a deep breath.
そう
Oh, Aideen.
体を楽にしてそして自分の中にある魔法に意識を向けるんだ
Aideen. I was Resident Evil. Yeah, we got a raid. Aideen. Oh, how was stream? Stressful? What the fuck happened? What the fuck happened to Resident Evil? Nope. Closed my eyes and a pale light appeared before me. Playing the hardest game on hard difficulty. Oh, well, good luck, buddy. Yeah, good luck on that. I make smart choices. Yeah, you ready for tomorrow, Dean? We playing Ark. You ready for tomorrow? You already died 3 times. Oh boy. Ark is tomorrow, yeah. Wednesday or Tuesday for you.
Manage は蒸気機関のピストンが弱っているそこに魔法で力を加えて円盤をうまく回すんだ
Yeah, thank you for the raid. Just playing otome games and yeah, we doing magic thingy.
よくイメージして
Focus my magic into the piston. Oh. Not a flashback. The light coalesced into a point. I spent a long moment slowly and carefully feeding it into the machinery. It was done. Widescreen. Kinda hurts. My eyes. The light enveloped the Manage. It was warm to the touch. If everything went right, that should do it. So, is it spinning now? I'm done. I only hope it works.
成果を確かめてみよ
Flashback out. The director roused the sulking mechanic. Okay. He rose in silence and trudged over just as quietly.
どいてください。
Stepped down from the Manage. Lucille walked around the platform, feeling various places and scanning here and there. What is he doing?
あれが整備士の仕事だよ魔法がきちんとかかっているかどうかああやって確認しているんだ
Okay. What? Lucille can see magic?
そうでないと魔法の遊園地の整備士は務まらないからね
Yeah, fair. Fair. He maintains them, not just physically, but magically too. That's amazing. Oh, thanks for the hydrate, Tassia. Oh, so that's his ability. Yeah, apparently. Lucille stepped off the Manage.
結果はどうだい
He then flipped one of the switches. Oh. The Manage began to spin.
見ての通り
Yay!
です。
うわすごい大成功だね。
開演に間に合ったか
Wow, okay. Well, it worked. A weight lifted from my shoulders. Whee! I really did something with my magic. I helped people.
ありがとうエマ。君は最高の魔女だ。
I don't know about that. I had a lot of help.
ほら見て、マネージュが動いてるわ。
修理できたのか、この短時間で。
Clara and Barrier came running upon hearing the commotion. Yay!
エマさんが魔法で直してくれたんだよ。
は？お前が？何かの間違いだろ。
Okay.
ちょっとクリエ、他に言うことないの？私たちのために魔法を使ってくれたのよ。
まあ助かったけどよ。
He looked away shyly. That was all I needed. Yeah. Yeah, sure. I'm glad I could help.
つうか、そんなの当たり前だろ。お前は魔法を使うために雇われたんだからな。
Okay. I know. I suddenly realized the show had vanished. Oh, okay. He just... Glancing around, spotted him head back toward the tents. He turned around slowly and reluctantly. I just wanted to thank you for checking the menage. I've never used magic before, so I'm glad you looked it over first.
僕は指示に従っただけですから。
Promptly trudged away. Okay. Oh. My voice trailed off as each long, dragging step carried him further. Why were you so against what I did? Lucio didn't stop, but apparently had heard me.
あなたには関係ありません。
Damn. I mean, fair, we are kind of strangers, you know. With that, he was gone. Up. There, the staff hurriedly prepared to open the park. Never felt like my magic was useful for anything, but this feels like progress. Feel like I can finally call myself part of the RPA. I had made enormous leaps towards my ultimate goal, and yet there was still so much to learn. There was still so much to do before everyone could be free. I'll awaken my magic, and when I do, I'll be a witch who's worth something. Oh. There we go. We're at Serge's route now. Yippee! The next day, I made my way to the RPA an hour early for my usual magic practice. The weather was perfect. First week went by in a flash. The white screen.
うちで働かないかい？君にはスタッフとして魔法の覚醒を目指してほしい。
I'd had my suspicions at first, but Monsieur Hugo made me feel needed. I couldn't overstate how happy that made me. Be just like my mother, a witch who'd use her magic for others, was all I'd ever wanted. Working here gave me the chance to pursue that dream, though I wasn't without my doubts. Would my magic ever truly awaken? Would I ever be more than a burden? Those intrusive thoughts and worries still occupy the corner of my mind. The menage's technical difficulties had caught all of us by surprise. Everyone had been prepared for the worst. That wasn't until Monsieur Hugo had surprised all of us with his suggestion. Honestly, I doubt anything would actually happen. But my magic answered my call. The moment I saw the menage turn, it felt like I could breathe again. My first good deed as a witch was a complete success. I feel like I can be confident of that. At the end of the day, the reason I decided to work for the VA was in order to free its workers. Yesterday had been a major step in that direction. There was still much to be done, though both as a part of the Reverie and as a witch. First things first, magic practice. I quickened my pace. Am I about to do a minigame? Oh. I spy Sergei near the front gate. He was walking around with a stern expression, his eyes staring left and right. Is he looking for something? I followed after him through the gate. Good morning, Sergei.
Oh,
He offered me a short greeting while glancing at me out of the corner of his ever-piercing eyes. What are you doing?
見回りだ。ゴミや不審なものがないか確認して回っている。
Oh, okay. You do that on top of managing all the finances? Sergei shook his head.
いや、朝の見回りは普段ヒューゴがやっていることだ。
Okay. So he's the route? Yep, he is.
だが昨夜は遅くまで頼んでいたオートマタの修理をしていたから変わったんだ。
Okay.
ヒューゴの補佐も私の仕事だからな。
That sounds like hard work.
ああ、ヒューゴにしかオートマタを扱えないとはいえ無理をさせた。せめて開演直前まで休んでもらいたい。
I was mostly talking about Sergei. Clearly he hadn't picked up on that. In my short time knowing Sergei, I'd learned that one thing about him. Monsieur Hugo was foremost in his thoughts. When the two weren't engaged in banter, Sergei was at Hugo's beck and call. Whatever the director was doing, Sergei was behind the scenes. You care an awful lot about Monsieur Hugo, don't you? Sergei nodded without hesitation.
先ほども言ったが、私の仕事はヒューゴの補佐だ。彼の考えに従って動くのは当然だろう。それに、私はヒューゴに助けられた。
Okay. That, what could that mean? If I could ask, Sergei sighed.
それよりも、こんなところで油を売っていていいのか。
Oh. Pardon?
まだ開演の1時間前だ。この時間に来た。
Oh, alright. I gasped. Oh, that's right. Excuse me, I have to practice my magic.
ああ、
Okay. Sergei unceremoniously returned to his patrol. I hope I didn't come off as ditzy. Entered the park with a sigh. Cleared my head and concentrated on practice. Is it minigame time? Minigame time. No. I would like to do the minigame. It's fun.
頑張って。僕がついているからね。
Wee! Wee! Wee!
わわ、よそ見したら危ないよ。
Wee! Wee! Wee!
いい感じだったね。
Rank B.
魔法のコツをつかめてきたのかな。
Click too early. I may not have a handle on my magic yet, but I'll get there one step at a time. After changing, I strolled through the park until I stumbled across Sergei again. Is he still at it? Hi Sergei, still patrolling?
いや、もう終わるところだ。これから屋台の準備があるからな。そういうあなたは。
Just finished
そう
practice.
か。いい機会だ。屋台の準備を教える。
Okay. Sure thing.
接客用オートマタの起動を行う。背中にスイッチがあるから押してみてくれ。
Okay. I approach the machine and search its back for the button. Here it is. I gently pushed it in. The automaton's eyes lit up and it immediately began to clang and cook. Magic made pretzels flew from an oven and onto a plate on the counter. The automaton placed each into a paper wrapper and lined the shelves with them one by one. I'm used to seeing them by now, but watching them work is another thing entirely. Sergei gestured to the machine's stomach
不
area.
具合が起きたときは腹部の蓋を開けて中の制御盤を確認してもらいたい。
He opened it up to demonstrate. I watched and listened attentively.
説明は以上だ。手分けしてオートマタを起動させよう。
Can do. That should do it. I switched on the last automaton. It's set to work at once, no malfunctions. I finished, Sergei.
そうか。
Okay. Okay, Goblin Slayer. Oh, there's an ad break. Even otome game worlds can escape AI taking over jobs. I mean, they barely have any staff, so I think it's fair. But also we also have an ad break, so I'm gonna wait for that for a bit. And wait for the ad break to finish before I continue. Also, hydrate and I probably should turn on the AC. I'm gonna get a Fortnite ad? Damn. Not the Fortnite ad. This is a new season on Fortnite anyway? I have no idea. I do not play Fortnite. I don't know, I just saw the guy from Back to the Future. Aw. Same because I don't have a PC. Damn. For me, it's just that Fortnite is not my kind of game. Anything like Fortnite is not my kind of game. That's why you don't see me play FPS games. FPS games don't have Goblin Slayer base. So true, that's true. Okay, we have 15 seconds on the ad break. The old man who turned the DeLorean into a time machine. Okay, ad break is done.
正常に動いているな。ご苦労だった。開演時間まで休憩してくれて構わない。では。
He made his way toward the administrative tent. He's so talkative when it comes to work, but nothing else. Really wish I could break the ice somehow. We're co-workers after all. I decided to take a chance and hurried after him. Sorry, Sergey.
なんだ
Continued on his way, his eyes betrayed not even a hint of intent to look my direction. My words caught in my throat and my head went blank. Mustering all the courage I could, though, I managed to squeak something out. I want to know your hobbies.
何
Well, that was, He abruptly stopped and turned to face me. You know, your hobbies.
そんなことを聞いてどうする
Sorry?
仕事とは無関係だろ
Well, why... You seem to stare straight through me. Desperate to keep the conversation from dying a horrible death, I racked my brain for subjects. I've got it. I recalled the day it had rained and he'd perform on the piano. Surely that had something to do with work. You play the piano, don't you?
それがどうした
I just really like your performance. I was wondering if maybe I could hear it again sometime.
断るあなたに聞かせるようなものではない
Guy that looks like a nerd doesn't have a hobby, damn. Oh, I felt a twinge of regret in my chest. No one else is quite this cold to me. He doesn't hate me, does he? Sergey went on his way again. I didn't follow this time. Well, that conversation died a horrible death, really. After greeting guests at the gate, I spent the most of my day cleaning. I was just finishing up lunch with Leon, who I'd happened to meet by coincidence. Thanks for eating with me. I should get going now.
もう行くの？もっとゆっくりしていけばいいのに。
I haven't gotten any instructions for this afternoon yet, so I need to go see the director.
そっか。行ってらっしゃい。
Lion wobbled his head back and forth as he waved. I smiled and made my way to the administrative tent. I found Sergey sitting at his desk there alone. Took a sheet of paper from a mountain-sized stack, read it, signed it, took another, and repeated the process. Damn. I thought Monsieur Hugo would be here for sure. I let out a small sigh. I could very well go see Sergey to receive an assignment, but this morning had left me feeling awkward. I know I shouldn't be letting this get in the way of work. I glanced his way again. Thought didn't work as if he hadn't even noticed I was there. I wouldn't want to distract him. Turn around to leave.
いつまでそうしているつもりだ
All of a sudden, a chill permeated the room. When I turned back around, his eyes hadn't even left his papers. How did he notice me? Sergey finally pried his attention away from the never-ending pile of forms with a sigh.
見ていないのにどうしてという顔をしているな足音がすれば誰だって気づく
My footsteps? I doubt that last part. Maybe it wasn't just his eyes that were sharp.
それより要件は
I haven't received any work for this afternoon, so I want to know what I could help with.
そうだな
Sergey placed the signed papers onto a box and took another sheet from the stack. It didn't make a dent in the pile at all. That looks like all the paperwork. Could I maybe lend a hand with that? To my surprise, Sergey answered with an icy glare.
経理の経験があるのか
Did bro just low-key call her fat? I have no idea. Hopefully not.
誰かに教わったことか、それとも勉強をしたことか。
I was at a loss for words. Neither.
だろうな。
Right.
そしてこれらの書類は知識のない者に扱えるもの
He
だ。
he said I could hear footsteps just like everyone else would.
私の足を引っ張りたくないのなら無責任な発言は控えてくれ。
Damn. He's blunt. No, at least he knows what to say. Yeah, just apologize. I'm sorry. I hung my head.
別に謝ってほしいわけじゃない。頭を上げてくれ。
Serge adjusted his glasses.
分かってくれればそれでいい。今後は気をつけてくれ。
Okay. He sighed, pulled out a sheet of paper from his desk, and began writing on it.
クリエに頼もうとしていた買い出しがある。あなたにはそれを頼みたい。
Oh, okay. Okay.
これがリストだ。
Handed me the paper and some money. I instantly returned his case.
私は作業の続きがある。用が済んだのなら。
Didn't wait for a reply. Okay. Complicated feelings stirred inside me as I made my trek toward the town. I didn't mean to make him upset. I just wanted to help. He was right, though. It was immature of me to try and force my way into work I had no business doing. Did he have to be so curt? What frustrated and saddened me the most was that he didn't seem to understand that I only wanted to do something nice for him. Maybe he really does hate me. Sensed my thoughts spiraling and shook my head. Serge is a co-worker. I have to learn to get along with him. Now's not the time. I still have work to do, so I've got to pull it together. I hurried to the first store on my list. Oh, thanks for the posture check. After what seemed like an endless day of running around, I was finally home. As soon as I opened the door, I was greeted by the welcoming aroma of hot soup. A fragment of my fatigue evaporated.
おかえりなさい。
おかえり。今日は遅かったな。
Yeah, that smells great.
なんだ腹が減ってるのか今温めてるところだから、ちょっと待ってろ。
Thanks, I've got something for you, Madame Alice.
あら、何かしら。
Handed her a small box and her eyes lit up.
マカロンね。どうしたの？
Just had a craving. So, the simplest macarons were almost like cookies. There was something soothing, comforting, even about their gentle flavor to me. It's part of why I love macarons so much, apart from how delicious they are, that is. Yasi, hi! Welcome to the stream. Something up. Arnold sent me a worried look from the kitchen. It was obvious there was a reason for the indulgence. There's no hiding anything from him. Sort of. I smiled wearily. Arnold frowned.
あの園長に何か言われたのか
Is this a scare game? Nope, it's a visual novel, an otome game. More on romance and well, fantasy, but yeah. Hey Shizu. Hey, 3 stream streak. Hey. Oh no, it's not about him. There's a co-worker I rely on a lot, and I don't think he likes me. Made him upset today. It was my fault. I just heaved a sigh.
そうだったのか
Yeah, thank you for the alert, Shizu. Being down won't do me any good, though, so I thought I'd treat myself and make the day a little better.
なるほどな。いい考えだ。でも、マカロンだけじゃ足りないときは、俺に相談しろよ。
私からもお願いするわ。この子はあなたのことが心配で仕方がないから。
Fair.
母さん。
そういえば、アルノーは今、エマの遊園地を取材しているのよね。
ああ。でも昨日はトラブルがあって、途中で切り上げてきたんだ。
あら、そうだったの？
明日また顔を出すつもりだよ。
You are? I hope it makes a good story.
どうかな。お前が想像するような記事にはならないかも。
Eh? What? How so?
詳しいことは明日話すよ。ほら、用意できたから夕飯にしよう。
Okay. That's concerning. A little bit. You sure leaving me in suspense here? What was that all about? Promise of a delicious dinner, though, was enough to dissuade my curiosity for the time being. Okay. A little concerning about that, okay. That afternoon, I was out on an errand for Serge. I helmed in thought as I reviewed this on my way to town. Springs, gears, metal plates, these are all automaton parts. Monsieur Hugo was working late last night again. Maintaining the machinery can't be easy. A flash of familiar red hair caught my eye just as I reached the gate. Oh. Yep, easier.
お前は出かけるところか？
Yeah. I was about to run some errands.
ならちょうどいい。俺も買い出しについていっていいか？
No, but don't you have work?
取材は後でするよ。ほら、買い出しに行こうぜ。
Oh, okay. Oh, that's a different background. Shopping was a breeze with Arnold's help. Thanks for carrying everything.
礼なんていいよ。来たいって言ったのは俺の方だしな。
Feel bad keeping you from your work though. Didn't you come to the RVA to do some research for the article?
先にお前と話した方がいいと思ったんだ。
He did mention something, yes. What's that?
昨日言いかけた件だよ。
Yeah.
母さんにもレイブのスタッフにも聞かれたくなかった。だから今ここで話す。
Why boy and you are matching? Well, we're both red motif, I guess. Arnold made sure the coast was clear, then leaned in.
少し長くなるけど。
え？
聞いてくれ。
That's okay. I nodded. I could sense a way in his words.
ハーメルン事件って聞いたことあるか？
Yeah, the Hamlin phenomenon, like the Pied Piper? The Pied Piper of Hamlin was a famous legend from another country. The tale went that a village plagued by rats hired the Piper to rid them of their infestation. When the Piper fulfilled his end of the bargain, however, the villagers wouldn't pay. So the Piper played his pipe and lured away all of their children with his music.
ハーメルン事件は行方不明および死亡事件の総称だ。
Oh boy.
そしてこの事件のハーメルンの笛吹き男はレイブ移動遊園地だって言われてる。
What are you saying?
街からレイブが去った後で人が消える。死者が出る。
Where did you hear? I suddenly remembered the conversation I'd overheard.
ねえ、いつ遊園地に連れて行ってくれるの？
私も行ってみたいな。
ダメよ。ハーメルン事件に関係があるって噂なんだから。
completely forgotten that I had heard those exact same rumors. But still, I refuse to believe that the Revier has anything to do with that. They're good people. None of the co-workers I'd come to know were capable of what the rumors were accusing of them. I'm sure there's an explanation.
俺だって完全に信じてるわけじゃない。でも事件が起きた町とレイブがいた町が重なってることは事実なんだ。フランス陸軍が捜査に乗り出したって話もあるし、この噂は無視できない。
Oh boy. The voices are so cute. But they're entirely baseless.
エマ、用心してくれ。
You know, it's fair that he's worried. It's fair. Arnold looked me dead in the eye.
事件のことは引き続き調べるつもりだ。お前も少しでもおかしいと思うことがあったら、その時は教えてほしい。本当なら働きに行かせたくないくらいなんだ。頼むから気をつけてくれ。
Ruby was innocent. I truly believe that. Without the right words to be able to convince Arnold, though, all I could do was silently agree. The Hamlin phenomenon. I thought back to yesterday's conversation as I looked out at today's guests. As if despite Arnold's ominous warning, there were nothing but smiles as far as the eye could see. Can't be true.
園内の掃除は終わったか?
Okay. Umihara jump scare. I whipped around, nearly jumping out of my own skin. It was Sergei. His eyes are as keen as ever. Yeah, it's just now.
では、次は倉庫の整理を頼めるか?
Okay. The store? I've seen it next to the administrative tent before, but I've never been
修理の
inside.
ためにオートマタの部品を買い込んだが、片付けまで手が回っていない。
Sorting errand, okay.
理想を言えば掃除も頼みたいところだが、おそらく今日はその段階までいかないだろう。
Just how messy is it in there? Oh boy.
整理も時間が許す限りで構わない。
Hear me out. Yes, I'll hear you out. Okay, so how messy it is.
私かヒューゴに聞くといい。ではな。
Sergei turned on his heels and promptly left. I still can't get a handle on him. As much as I wanted to bridge this gap between us, he was just too guarded. Maybe I can crack him if I do a good job. You know, maybe. Yeah. I headed to the storeroom, determined. Oh, wow. It's not that bad, though. Not that bad. When I first set foot in the storeroom, I quickly discovered there was nowhere to set foot. A linen cloth lay on the floor, only on it, various tools as well as bits and bobs were scattered around. Presumably, this was where the work happened. Knickknacks and doodads spilled from the containers on the shelves. They don't look that messy, but okay, game. Damn, it's so tidy. It's really nice to look at. Not gonna lie. I know. The very back was obscured by a wall of boxes. This was even worse than I thought. It doesn't look that bad though. The background is not helping. It'll take some doing, but I'm no stranger to tidying. Yep, guess we go. Rolled up my sleeves and prepared to get to work. Just then, a distant tinkling of a piano caught my ear. Oh! Serge is playing. Hadn't even noticed it begun to rain. It was only a drizzle, so surely it would stop soon. So pretty. You will never think such gentle sounds came from such an intimidating man. Or maybe I'm putting him on that box myself. I wanted to be able to talk and chat with him like the others, but to reach that obstacle, I had to first overcome this one. Well, I can walk around a little now. I heaved a sigh and wiped some sweat from my forehead. After a long period of hard focus, I managed to clear out most of the floor. The automaton parts were sorted neatly by type and size. Next on my list was sorting the containers themselves for ease of access. I suppose I ordered them by shelf. I checked each container one by one, slowly moving deeper into the room. Here we've got... All I heard was the barely perceptible noise of something sliding behind the wall of boxes. Oh. Hey. Next thing I knew, I was face to face with a giant automaton right on the verge of toppling over. Oh. Oh boy. I instantly made to move out the way, but my foot caught on one of the boxes. Fell to the ground, looked up at the perilously pitched automaton towering over me. A few trash bags on the floor. Man, this place is really messy. I know, right? Goldman, it's a robot, but I think it was on the top shelf, but now it's toppling over from the top shelf. Then they heard another sound. Ooh. Hard and heavy thud. Oh. Oh. Hmm. Oh. Hmm. Okay. I don't know the controls on this thing. Huh. So... That's a metal arm. No, yeah, he just protected the MC before the robot dropped onto her. Slowly pried my eyes open. The man was crouched in front of me. Light pants punctuated his words. Also, let me see if I can actually remove the text box. Let me save real quick before I press anything. Okay. That's the log. That's auto. I don't think there's a way to... Yeah, there's no way to actually remove the text box. Damn. Can't hide the UI. Yeah, let me load the save file. fall machine leaned heavily against his arm. As the situation gradually began to sink in, the tension drained from my
動
body.
けるならもう少し離れていてくれ。
Right. His composure was the only thing keeping mine intact, and then a sharp sound grated against my ears. It was Sergei's arm creaking under the weight. The automaton was massive. There was no way he was as unharmed as he let on. Shit ran down my spine. I hurried to my feet. Instead, I caught a quick glimpse of what I'd failed to notice earlier.
問題ない。私の腕は人とは違う。
Uh-huh. All I saw was a glimmer of polished silver beneath his torn sleeve. Huh. He has a prosthetic arm. Sergei set the automaton down and turned to face me. Is that a prosthetic?
ああ、隠していたわけではないが、驚かせたのなら悪かった。
I wish I could remove the UI so I could see it. Damn game.
それより、怪我はしていないか？
No, I'm okay. His heart frown finally softened slightly.
そうか。よかった。
I heard a sigh leave his lips. I didn't realize he'd been that worried for me. I should... He held his hand up to interrupt me.
あなたが礼を言う必要はない。危険な目に遭わせてすまなかった。
Why would you say that?
このオートマタは修理しきれず、ヒューゴ自ら解体することになっていた。今朝のうちに解体を終えるはずだったのだが、急遽予定が変わったと。ヒューゴは時々雑に、いや、おおらかになりすぎることがある。ろくに固定もしないまま放置していると思い、駆けつけた結果がこれだ。危うくあなたが下敷きになるところだった。すべて私の落ち度だ。本当にすまないことをした。
Lowered his hand down far. Please, no bowing. I'm not hurt. Everything's fine. Spread my arms out just to prove it. Sergei lowered his gaze and frowned again.
いや、
Eh? He knelt down and felt my
す
knee.
りむいているじゃないか。
Eh? Oh. That must have happened when I fell. Wait, it's just only a little scrape.
いや、手当てが必要だ。待っていてくれ。
I hurried out of the storeroom. I awkwardly stayed behind and waited for him to come back. Okay. Sergei soon returned with the first aid kit. He set me down on a chair and knelt in front of me again.
傷跡が残らなければいいが。
Okay. But this? Don't be silly. Sergei, you're the one who took that hit.
この義手は人の腕よりよほど強い。心配する必要はない。
He demonstrated by extending it out for me. He then opened a bottle of disinfectant. Now the man is under just can't
少し
prove it.
し
Run.
みるぞ。
Man, if only I could take a picture without this text box in the way, but okay, game. I gritted my teeth against the pain while Sergei gently wiped the wound clean. His words were short, but his actions were tender. He wrapped my knee in gauze with practiced
傷は
hands.
浅いが、念のため塗り薬を渡しておこう。
Once finished, he rested his hands against the wrapping. The right one was cold and the left one warm. Both large. Okay. Large like a man's. I mean, he is a man, Emma. What do you mean? What do you mean by
他にど
that?
こか痛むか？
あ？
顔が赤い。 熱が出てきたのかもしれない。
I don't think that's what it means, but okay, okay. Guess he's that dense. Okay. Man's dense, got it. I'm just shy. Let's just say that. It's because, well, I'm just shy.
恥ずかし
Haha.
い。なぜ？
He looked straight into my eyes, and my heart skipped another beat. How should I explain it?
あ
You do?
あ、あなたは与えられた仕事をよくこなしている。
I don't think that's
よ
what
くこの倉庫をここまで整理してくれた。
I don't think that's what she meant, but okay. What for, he says? Yeah, man's dense. A man is dense as
この怪我
fuck.
は恥などにはならない。安心してくれ。
I mean, that's probably partly, but I don't think that's the whole reason. But okay. This confusing attempt at reassurance only made my cheeks burn hotter. Could I, have some space?
ああ、もちろん。治療は以上だ。
Let go of my knee and I breathed a sigh of relief. Is he oblivious or just unfazed? I can't tell. It's getting to my head. Girl, man's dense. Man's just dense.
今日はもう帰って休んだ方がいい。怪我による熱なら困ったことになるからな。
It's a small cut. It should be okay, right? Again, not a fever. Yeah, man is dense. Wish I had man like this. Well, to the man. Kept that part to myself and simply nodded. Got it, he's dense. I typed at my typewriter, albeit a little slower than I would have liked. There was still a mountain of paperwork to get through. Someone entered their tent.
やあ、遅くまで頑張っているね。
We're on Sergei's POV, I think. Hugo carried over a tray of 2 cups of
ヒュ
tea.
ーゴ、あなたがそんなことをしなくても。
俺が作業している時は君が差し入れてくれるじゃないか。魔法ですぐ準備できるし手間でもないよ。
それはそうかもしれないが。
さあ、少し休憩にしよう。
I took the cup from my desk. Its warm seeped into my chilled left hand. Hugo availed himself of that same desk, using it as a chair. He sipped his tea.
改めて彼女を守ってくれてありがとう。さすがに反省したよ。俺の不注意で大怪我をさせるところだった。
謝罪なら彼女に。私は私の仕事をしたまでだ。
ああ、わかったよ。彼女とはうまくやっているかい？君は勘違いされがちだから少し心配しているんだけれど。
私にはよくわからん。
Hugo chuckled.
一つ腑に落ちないことがある。
なんだい？
彼女が顔を赤くしていたので熱が出たのかと心配したんだが、恥ずかしいだけだとさ。
Oh my god. He's so dense.
恥ずかしがるような場面でもなかったと思うのだが、
He is so
なぜだかわかる
dense.
か？
ん？君何をしたの？
何もしていない。膝の手当てをしていたくらいだ。
君が手当てをしていて彼女がそれを恥ずかしがった？
ああ、私は何か失態を犯したのか。
セルジュ、君ってやつは。
I think Hugo is just looking at him disappointed. Hugo heaved a hefty sigh. I I took this to mean I had guessed correctly. Noticing my tension, Hugo waved his hand.
いやいや、そう身構えないでくれ。失態ってわけじゃないから。そうだな。例えば彼女が君の体に触れているところを想像してごらんよ。
それは手当てなど必要な動作の場合か。
まあそう考えてみようか。どう？
どうと言われても
彼女の手が心配そうに君の肌を撫でる。
I see what you're doing, Hugo. I see.
懸命な治療に感謝すると思う。
はあ、俺は心配だよ、セルジュ。可愛い子に触れられて何も思わないなんて。君は色気がないな。
Hugo, please save this man. Please.
なんだ、そういう話か。あいにくあなたと同じ感覚は持ち合わせていない。私は職務を果たせればそれでいいからな。
君の人生だ。口を出すつもりはないけどね。
Hugo shrugged, then fixed his eyes on me.
で、そっちはいつまで黙っているつもりなのかな？
何の話だ？
その手、俺が気づかないとでも？
He smiled in his way that left no room for argument. Doubtless, it had been his entire reason for coming.
さすがはヒューゴだ。かな。
Truly, I couldn't have sworn my loyalty to a more deserving man. I offered my right arm in surrender. Okay. Bro doesn't even know what is he saying. Man is dense. Sergey's the kind of guy to think, I don't think she's into me, even if he was married for 10 years. Yeah, I feel like that would be something he would do. Oh my god. I let myself collapse into my bed. There was so much on my mind that dinner felt like a blur. I still can't believe it. Sergey, of all people, would come to my rescue, and when I tried to thank him, he apologized instead. Our relationship had been nothing but prickly up to now. Today, though, I felt like I understood him better than ever. He was strict but fair. He was as quick to apologize as he was to call out mistakes. Sergey was a truly steadfast individual. It really was only a scrape. I giggled to myself, remembering how insistent he'd been that I take the ointment that now sat on my bedside table. Beneath his harsh exterior was a gentle man, one I hope to see more in the future. I took the ointment and ran my thumb along the bottle. Tomorrow I decided I would thank him properly. Okay. Hey, chapter 5. Okay. The next morning, the scrape had all but healed over. My rapid recovery was no doubt thanks to Sergey's first aid and the ointment. I headed to the administrative tent first thing in the morning to thank him. Let me hydrate real quick.
Emma, 待っていたよ。
Why you scrambled up? What? Monsieur Hugo sprung from his chair. I blinked in surprise. Yes? A sad frown spread across his face.
昨日の倉庫での件を謝りたくて。
Oh,
怖い思いをさせてしまってすまない。まさかオートマタが倒れるなんて。君が下敷きになりかけたと聞いて肝が冷えたよ。
you don't need to apologize.
いや、あの場所にオートマタを置いたのは俺だ。 それをちゃんとセルジュに報告しておけば君が危ない目に遭うこともなかったわけだから。君に怪我までさせてしまって本当に反省している。
I'm okay, really. No one was seriously hurt.
結果的にはな。
Oh, hi, Sergey. Sergey spoke up from the chair near Monsieur Hugo.
大怪我をしてもおかしくなかったのだから、あなたはもっと怒るべきだ。
You glanced at my knee.
傷の具合は？
Better. The medicine you gave me sealed the scrape right up.
そうか。
Also, I want to thank you for saving me, Sergey. He shook his head.
礼を言われることではない。あの状況で助けるのは当然だ。
And thank you for your concern, Monsieur Hugo. I'm just fine, as you can see, and I'm ready to work.
分かった。でも軽いとしても怪我は怪我だよ。くれぐれも無理はしないようにね。
I will.
セルジュもだよ。
Oh,
それは。
I suppose. Huh. Sergey looked away evasively. What? Were you hurt?
落ち着け。怪我はない。
Then what did he
義
mean?
手が壊れてしまったんだよ。
Oh, it broke. I knew I'd heard the... Okay. I knew I'd heard the creaking sound from his arm yesterday. Was it my fault?
そう深刻に捉えなくていい。そもそもこの6年、大きな問題もなく使えていたことが不思議なくらいだ。
まあ確かに急ごしらえの割には持ってくれたね。
Wait. Monsieur Hugo, are you the one who made Sergey's prosthetic?
ああ、
Oh. Incredible. The director smiled and shook his head.
そうでもないよ。オートマタの技術を応用しただけだから。
Okay.
義手は初めての試みだったけれど、まあうまくできた方かな。
Convenient. Didn't feel like the right word to describe something so amazing. I wouldn't have known Sergey wore a prosthetic had I seen it myself yesterday. It was functionally equivalent to a regular human arm and in all ways except appearance.
私はヒューゴをかなり優秀な技師だと思っているがな。
I nodded in agreement. At least repairing it should be no problem if you're the one who made it.
それがそうもいかなくてね。彼の義手には少し特殊な部品を使っているから取り寄せるのに数日かかってしまうんだ。
Uh-oh. So he has to live with it until then?
そういうことだね。しばらくは仕事に支障が出るかもしれない。
そうならないよう努めるつもりだ。
Monsieur Hugo thought for a moment, then faced him head on.
君にばかり負担をかけるわけにはいかないから一つ提案させてほしい。
え？
彼女にセルジュの補佐を頼もう。
その必要はない。
Sergey spoke over me.
昨日は彼女の手当てもこなした。補佐がなくともいつも通り仕事はできる。
なるほど。
Monsieur Hugo sauntered over to the desk, picked up a pen, then dropped it over Sergey's right arm. Oh. He tried to grab it, but the pen fell right out of his grip and onto the floor.
これでもいつも通り言えるのかな？
It's not really working that well, I see. Almost looks like it's gotten worse since yesterday. Seeing him like this made my chest feel uncomfortably tight.
これ以上無理を重ねて腕が動かなくなったらどうするつもりだい？ここは素直に彼女の手を借りるべきだよ。君も仕事を貯めるわけにはいかないだろう？
いや、しかし。
Felt my spirit sink at Sergey's continued protests. The director only
セル
smiled.
ジュ、俺から延長命令を出させるつもりかい？
そういうつもりでは。
Sergei swallowed his arguments, and with it, his pride.
君も頼まれてくれるかな？
No. Of course, but is Sergei really on board with this? Reluctantly, he looked me in the eye.
手間をかけるが、よろ
Oh,
しく頼
he
む。
said okay. Okay then. It's my pleasure. Oh, he said okay, so I guess we're okay with this.
レイブ、移動遊園地へ。
The entire Rivier staff greeted its guests as visitors, poured in through the gate. The entire staff, that is, except for Clara, who was at the front desk, Greer, who was preparing for his shows, and Lucille, who in his tent.
さて、これで全部かな。
With the last of the people filed in, Monsieur Hugo addressed the rest of us.
みんな、今日も一日よろしく頼むよ。
はい。
君はセルジュをよろしくね。
Of course. Getting back, I got disconnected for a while there. Oh. Thank you for the hydrate, Izuku. And I'm a Sergei's assistant now. I've got to keep my head on straight.
今日はセルジュさんのお手伝いなの？
今日はじゃなくて、当分はだけれどね。
そうなんだ。でもいいな。僕にもお手伝いの人がいれば助かるんだけど。
I always forget how inconvenient it must be to wear that costume all day.
セルジュさんの腕が治ったら、今度は僕の補佐をお願いしたいな。
Sure thing.
彼女と一緒に仕事がしたいというのが一番の理由じゃないのかい、リオン。
Yeah, that's cute. Leon scratched his head shyly. Sergei broke his silence with a sigh before promptly walking away. Oh, I better get going. I hurriedly bowed to them, then gave a chase. Okay. Rushed into the tent, Sergei put down the document in his hand and raised an eyebrow at me.
何を慌てているんだ？
You went off without me. I didn't want to keep you waiting.
私のことなら気にしなくていい。あなたはあなたの用事を済ませてくれ。
But this is my business. I'm your assistant. Another sigh. He didn't seem convinced this morning either. Does he think I'm just not up to it? He was probably right. I couldn't do finances like him, so how much help would I realistically be? Part of me was stubborn though. I mustered up my courage and looked him dead in the eye.
なんだ？
You saved me yesterday. I want to repay that kindness however I can. I know I'm not good for much, but I promise I'll promise to try if you'll just give me a chance. He blinked at me. Soon after, his expression hardened again.
礼は不要だと伝えたはずだ。それに、あなたが頼りないとは一言も言っていない。
You said you didn't want an assistant and you keep sighing. You're not annoyed with me?
なるほど。
Sergei turned away bitterly, muttering to
あな
himself.
たがどうこうという話ではない。ただ、自分が情けないだけだ。
Yourself?
どうにかあの場に駆けつけることはできたが、あなたに怪我を負わせ、その上こうして、ヒューゴやあなたの手を煩わせている。情けない限りだ。
I was stunned. All that was him beating himself up? Shouldn't have been so surprised. I knew that Sergei was just as hard on himself as he was on others. Wasn't one to let mistakes go, especially ones he made. What do I say? Oh. Save. Ashamed of what? Exactly. You're ashamed of what? Rescuing me? Taking care of me? It's not being a burden. I consider that strong.
頼りがいがある。
That's right.
気を使う必要はない。情けないと正直に言ってくれていい。
Sergei, you broke that arm protecting me. It's a badge of honor.
なんだそれは。
I ignored him and continued. Until it's fixed, though, I'll be your right hand. I'm not quite strong enough to catch falling automatons, but let me be your assistant. I'll be there for you however I can. Sergei stared at me once my rant had finished. A while later, his expression softened.
比喩ではなく、本当に私の右腕になるつもりか。
Sir? Sir? Are you in live except YouTube? Also multi-streaming on Twitch. Yeah. Also, he's smiling? Okay. He smiled. Couldn't believe my eyes.
さすがに腕力を求めるつもりはないが、あなたの気持ちは嬉しい。ありがたく受け取ろう。
You mean...
ああ、しばらくの間、私の右腕としてよろしく頼む。
Gladly. His smile was incredibly contagious in the strangest way. He chuckled again. My heart pounded in my chest for reasons I didn't understand.
早速
Okay,
だ
girl.
仕事内容を説明する。
Okay. Please do.
簡単に言えば、レーブの経営にまつわるお金の管理が経理である私の仕事だ。
Mm-hmm.
具体的には、日々の売上管理、予算管理、スタッフへの給与の支払いなど、様々な業務があるが、
Mm-hmm.
どれもやることは同じだ。金額を計算し、紙に記し、版を押す。それでほとんどのことは済む。
I see.
だが、今はそんな簡単なことも難しい。版を押すくらいのことはできても、人に読ませる文字は書けないだろう。
Uh-huh. Sergei was right-handed. His arm was still mobile, but damaged enough to make finer movements a challenge.
さすがに署名の代筆は頼めないが、発注書の作成や売上の計算などはあなたに任せたいと思う。
I can do that. Where do I start? Sergei stood and handed me the document holder on his desk. Okay. Oh. Ticket stubs?
見ての通り、チケットの半券だ。これの枚数を数えて、金額を出してほしい。その後、実際の売上金と照らし合わせる。
Understood. Okay, I think I can manage that. I let out a sigh of relief and took the stubs to a nearby table. Before I could begin, though, Sergei dropped a stack of documents on top of them. Huh?
これが屋台の売上をまとめたリストだ。商品ごとの売上を計算し、総額を出してほしい。
Oh boy.
こちらは月ごと、週ごとの売上リストで推移を確認するためのものだ。総額を出したら、このリストにも記入を。
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Documents upon documents upon documents. As the stack grew and information filled my brain, little room remained for Sergei's words to sink in. Can't keep up with all this.
それから1ヶ月の収支をまとめて。
Sergei?
なんだ。
He glanced at the mounting the papers.
一気に話しすぎたか。
Hello, yes. You sure it was a little? Girl. Do HR exists here? He is the HR. He is the HR and the finance.
では、もう一度頭から説明する。
Oh. He pulled over a chair and sat in front of me. I'm sorry. Sergei shook his head.
いや、今のは私が悪かった。義手が治るまで時間はある。あなたのペースで覚えていけばいい。
Okay. Sergei resumed his explanations, this time slowly and carefully. Whoop. Jesus, it's night. After meticulously checking and double-checking my work, I carried my stack of completed documents to Sergei's desk. I'm finished. Hope we have a ad break though. We do have an ad break. Dang, this certainly took a while. Yeah, it's nighttime already. Damn. Also, there's an ad break, so hydrate. Okay, like how long have I been? 2 hours? Yeah, it's been 2 hours, so should I just finish chapter 5 then? Oh, gee, another Fortnite ad? They really want me to play it? No! Potato, don't! Yeah, past 2 hours. Yeah, I was thinking if I should just finish chapter 5. That probably would take at least 3 hours then by now. I will not give in. Yeah, don't give in. Don't give in to that temptation, Potato. I mean, how long will that take to finish chapter 5 then? Judging by how I'm moving with the other chapters, I think one chapter is like 1 hour or 1 hour and 15 minutes. Or less, depending on how fast I can read, but yeah. So I probably will end up in 3 hours total of streaming time. Because I know there's 7 chapters. We're on chapter 5 now. Okay, yeah, I'll just finish chapter 5. And then I guess we continue next week after that. Wait, what's the date next week actually? Oh, Tuesday is the 16th. Okay. We'll see. Okay. So next week is the 16th for another Tuesday. I know that is gonna be the update for FF14 for the next patch. But I'm not sure what time that is. So I'm like, it's either I'm gonna play an otome game or FF14, depending on what time the update for FF14 will be up. So we'll see. I'll have to check the patch notes again for FF14. There's also Warframe. I know that Warframe is also getting an update on that day. So I have a lot of things to do next week. Shit. There's so much to do next week. What the fuck? Yeah, ad break is done. I'm gonna continue. He took the papers, skimmed through them, and nodded.
問題ない。残りもこのまま進めて。
Sorry, it's nighttime.
暗いな。
That's the perks of playing this many live service games. Yeah, and I all enjoyed them. So yeah. Oh, it has. Like, what time is it exactly? It was pitch black outside. I was so focused on making sure I didn't mess anything up.
この暗さだと閉園時間は過ぎているだろう。今日はもう帰ってもらって構わない。
But there's still work left. Half of the papers he'd given me hadn't even been touched yet. I'm sure Sergei would have finished it all a long time ago. My mood quickly took a downward turn.
初日からその量をこなせるとは思っていない。半分も終わればいい方だろう。残りは明日頼む。
Alright. I gathered up the remaining paperwork and got ready to leave. Sergei resumed working. You're not stopping?
ああ。
He's not picking up my sack, is
勘
he?
違いをされても困るから言っておくが、あなたのためではない。夜更けまでやるのが習慣になっているだけだ。
You always work this late? I know it's just who he is, but he could really cut himself a little slack.
私のことは気にせず、帰ってくれて構わない。
Okay. He looked back down at his paperwork. Well, now I definitely can't leave. Put my back down on the chair. Sergei looked back up, confused to see me still there.
どうした？
I still have to do my magic practice. Can I come back when I'm done?
なぜ？残りは明日でいいと言っている。
I know, I just want to. I said I want to be your right hand, so I should act like it. Sergei's eye went wide, then he smiled.
そうか。では頼む。
I do. Oh boy. I'll be right back. I started to leave when I heard a thud behind me. Sensing danger, I turned around to see a new stack of papers on top of my remaining work. Sergei, what is that?
追加分だ。
Extra?
私の補佐という予定外の業務を頼むからと遠慮していたが、あなたには不要だったようだな。その向上心を尊重する。
We're gonna be here at we're gonna be sleeping in the amusement park, aren't we?
エマ、あなたには右腕とまではいかなくとも、小指くらいにはなってもらおう。
What does that mean? What does that mean? He could stand to cut the others a little slack too. I immediately regretted letting that smile win me over. At the very least, it seemed we'd gotten closer. I mean, I guess? Huh? He finally called me by my name, so we must have. I finished magic practice and continued my struggle against the endless stacks late into the night. Arnold finally came to see where I'd been. Oh no. Arnold just picked her up, okay. 3 days as Sergey's assistant. Goodbye. Oh boy. 3 days later. Many long nights later, I was finally starting to get the hang of this typewriter contraption.
エマ、できたか？
Oh, we're using the typewriter now? Cool. Yes, I have them right here. Also, knowing how a typewriter works, I feel old now. Thank you. Thank you, game. Handed over the purchase orders. I just finished typing up.
問題ない。これで送ってくれ。それを投函しに行くついでに。
Got it. I'll get right back to work when I'm done. I took the extra letter and prepared to leave.
いや、戻ったら先に休憩を取ってくれ。
Oh, you're right. Thanks. Come by to eat when you get a chance.
いや、食事ならここで済む。
Okay. Here? Reached into a bag on his desk and pulled something out. Piece of brochet? Brochet? I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know that's food. I almost thought he must have been joking until he took a bite. He held the document in his right hand and read it as he ate. Evidently, this didn't seem strange to him. I mean, not gonna lie, I do the same when I'm working on stuff, so not really that weird. That's your lunch?
ああ、左手のみで食べられるものを探してここに行き着いた。
I mean, yeah.
仕事をしながら食事が取れる。なかなか効率がいい。
I mean, yeah, I understand why. Understand. Emma clearly never worked in an office. Yeah, she hasn't. I see. I'm not sure efficiency will fill his stomach until his arm's fixed.
どうした？手紙を出しに行かないのか？
Oh, right. I'll do that. Oh boy. Oh, there we go. Director, do you have a moment? After all the guests had gone, I stopped Monsieur Hugo on his way back to the administrative tent. Sergei's diet had been on my mind all day.
大丈夫だよ。どうかしたのかい？
It's about Sergei. I don't think he's eaten anything other than bread for lunch since his arm broke. Are his dinners the same?
言われてみればそうだね。昨日の夕食もパンとチーズとワインで済ませていたし、前日もそうだったかな。
Bread, cheese, and wine. Then I was right. He hasn't been eating enough.
もしかしてセルジュの体のことを心配してくれているのかな？
Yes, bread isn't enough to live on. I'm worried he might seriously hurt himself before long.
優しいね。君にセルジュの補佐を頼んで正解だったよ。
Okay. Okay.
でも彼はああいう性格だからね。君の行為を素直に受け取ってはくれないかもしれない。
Yeah, understandable. That's certainly true. It had taken an awful lot of pushing just to get him to let me be his assistant. How do you think we can get through to him?
そうだね。あ、いい案があるよ。辛い料理を振る舞うのはどうだろう。
Huh? Spice?
セルジュはフランス人には珍しく辛党でね。スパイスの効いた料理が好物なんだ。
Oh. I don't recall any spicy foods among the magic dishes I've tried. Does the dining tent serve anything I'd like?
出せることは出せるけれど、味の調整はできないんだ。セルジュも何度か試してはいたよ。でも結局、彼好みの辛さではなかったみたいだね。
Huh. Oh, I see.
そんなわけでスパイスに飢えているから、辛い料理なら食べてくれるんじゃないかな。
So he likes spicy food. Got it. anyone knows Serge, it's Monsieur Hugo. I'd say it's worth a shot. Thank you for the advice. I'd give it a try.
お役に立てたのならよかった。健闘を祈っているよ。
Based. Spicy food. I'm not very familiar with the palate myself, but I'll give it some thought. I've got an early morning tomorrow. So are we gonna be cooking for him? We gonna be cooking for Sergey then? The next day, I arrived at the reveille, spicy meal in hand, ready to enact my plan. That's my chance. Lunchtime had arrived. Meanwhile, Sergey was busy staring holes through documents. Sergey, I brought lunch today. I was hoping you'd eat with me.
昼食
Dunked the pot onto the table. Sergey eyed me perplexed.
食事なら間に合っている
Gestured to the bag on his desk. Sweet and spicy. Doubtless the contents won't surprise me. I know, but you can't just keep eating bread every day.
それはそうかもしれないが正直なところ面倒なんだ
Not to worry, I can help with. I kept that in mind, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
何
Slowly lifted the lid. Steam wafted up, and a strong aroma quickly filled the room. I just recently heated it up in the kitchen.
この香りは
The director told me you like spicy food, so I made ratatouille. Ooh, with extra pepper, of course.
唐辛子
Space practically lit up. Had it been anyone else, a tear or two would not have been out of place. I made sure everything was nice and tender, so you shouldn't have any problems eating this with only your left hand.
まさかあなたが作ったのか
That's right. Eating properly is never more important than when we're on the mend.
怪我はしていない義手が故障しただけだ
Maybe not, but I've noticed you haven't been eating well ever since it broke.
そうだとしても食事の世話は補佐の仕事に含まれていないあなたがここまでする必要はないだろう
He sighed wearily. Not babying him, am I?
そんな顔をしないでくれあなたの気遣いは嬉しいせっかく作ってきてくれたんだありがたくいただくとしよう
One look at the smile on his face was all I needed to raise my spirits. I'll get you a plate, just one moment.
ああ
I carefully plated the ratatouille onto one of the dishes I'd borrowed from the kitchen. It was a colorful arrangement of everything a certain malnourished someone would need to set his diet back on track.
ずいぶん具材が入っているな
I wanted to make sure you were getting the nutrients you need, so I added plenty of vegetables.
栄養を取るにはいいかもしれないがこれだけの食材を使ったとなると
Sergey poured his brow. Ratatouille wasn't anything particularly fancy. Onions, zucchini, paprika, and the rest of its basic ingredients were standard fare. Pepper was the most costly, if I'm being perfectly honest. Don't worry about it, it's not a problem. Smell at him, but his cow remained.
いやこういうことははっきりさせておいた方がいい後々揉める原因になるからな
Why, I gotta reimburse her. Gotta reimburse the expenses that she made for the dish.
いくらだ材料費を支払わせ
Yeah, I thought so. Bro, it's not like I've not worked in the office before, but yes. It's fine, really. I honestly wasn't that much.
金額の問題ではない
I shrunk beneath the cutting look in his eyes. I should have known he would be a stickler about this. Ever since I'd become his assistant, I thought I had him all figured out. This was a level of stubbornness I hadn't expected. I suppose I'm not surprised.
もう一度聞く。
I surrendered with a nod. Okay, you win. I'll tell you later.
ああ、それでいい。
His keen gaze sheeted at last. I set the plate in front of him. Here, careful, it's hot.
わかった。では、いただこう。
Sergei delicately guided the spoon with his left hand and took a bite.
うまい。ちょうどいい辛さだ。
Hey, Zero Niku. Yeah, we're playing GENSOU MANÈGE, yeah. His lips curled over to so slightly into a grin. I sighed in relief. I'm glad you like it. I sampled it, of course, but I don't often eat spicy food, so I wasn't sure just how strong to make it.
辛すぎず甘すぎず、本当にちょうどいい。そう言いながらこの味を出せるとは、あなたは料理が得意なんだろう。
I wouldn't call myself I wouldn't call myself a chef exactly.
そうなのか。ならば才能があるんだろう。私にはとてもじゃないが真似できない。
Sergei was no flatterer, especially when it came to work. I could only take his compliments at face value. I don't know what to say in times like these, but I'm glad he likes it. His face quickened and he began to ardently devour the ratatouille. I'm sure all that bread must have been horribly dull. Suddenly he was trying to cut a piece of zucchini. His spoon slipped and flung sauce onto the desk. Uh-oh. Oh no, was it too hard?
いや、手が滑っただけだ。
Picked the spoon back up and continued eating. His movements were clumsy. It can be easy with his offhand. I probably should have cut things into smaller pieces. Sergei returned to the problematic zucchini for a rematch. Eventually, I just couldn't watch any longer. Can I borrow your spoon?
Oh.
I miss Cafe Enchant Thursday. Well, I finished Cafe Enchant already, so there's nothing really to do there. I cut up the zucchini, scooped it up with a bit of sauce, and held it out for him. Oh. 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 Open wide!
一体何の真似だ。
Okay. Being your assistant?
さっきも言ったが、食事の世話までは補佐に含まれない。冗談を言っていないで、スプーンを返してくれ。
Who said I was doing this for fun?
何？
Hurry now before it gets cold.
何が悲しくて、年下の女性に食べさせてもらわなければならないんだ。
Sergei?
どうしても食べさせる気か。
I insist. After a long silence, Sergei reluctantly opened his mouth. Oh good, he's eating. Girl is kinda dense a little bit. She's kinda dense. I held it out and Sergei leaned forward to allow the spoon into his mouth. Here comes the plane! Suddenly realizing how close my face was to his, I lurched back. In that moment, he seemed somehow meek, vulnerable even. Starting to hit me how forward I just was. Yeah, girl, yeah. Yeah. I felt my cheeks begin to burn.
どうした？
No, nothing. Avoid this case.
あなたは意外と頑固だな。
Sorry?
だが、
Mm.
ま、助かった。ありがとう。
You're very welcome. The slight blush on his cheeks nearly made my heart leap from my chest. I smiled genuinely, if not a little bashfully. I tried to insist on helping him eat the entire plate, but Sergei's patience had run thin, so I settled for quietly watching as he finished the rest on his own. Sergei didn't put the spoon down until his plate was spotless. He knows how to make the effort feel worth it, that's for sure. I'll take the dishes. I was just about to leave when Sergei spoke up.
あなたに頼みがある。材料費は私が持つ。だから明日以降も昼食を用意してもらえないか。
I certainly can. Well, I guess we're gonna be cooking lunch for him now. Sergei and I were patrolling the grounds that evening. Do you not usually cook for yourself? The question had come to me on a whim.
料理をしたことはある。たった一度だけ。
Just once?
だが散々な出来だった。辛くしたくて香辛料を足したんだが、入れすぎてひどい味に仕上がった。材料がもったいなくて全部食べたが、大変な目にあった。もう二度とごめんだ。
Okay. An amusing vision of Sergei scowling in front of a pot came to mind.
こんな話を聞いて、あなたは面白いのか？
Very.
そうか。
Sergei sometimes didn't understand certain things, but he was still willing to engage in conversation. Compared to before, it was like night and day, and I couldn't get enough of all the emotions he showed to me now.
Emma, Serge-san.
Oh. Clara waved to us from the ticket booth. I waved back as he headed her way. Hi, Clara.
チケットの売れ行きはどうだ？
今日はまずまずってところね。それよりもさっきお客さんに聞いたんだけど、どうやらプレッツェルの屋台のオートマタが調子悪いみたいなの。
Oh.
何？
まだ動いてはいるみたいだけど、早めに確認した方がいいと思うわ。
了解だ。これから向かう。
Sergei turned on his heels.
ねえあなた。
I leaned in close to her.
最近遅くまで残ってるみたいだけど、大丈夫？セルジョさんに無茶を言われてない？もし困っていることがあるなら、私がガツンと言ってあげるわよ。
He beat her fists against her chest. Thank you for worrying, but everything is fine. I've been staying late because I want to.
そうなの？ならいいけど。セルジュさんって仕事できるし、悪い人じゃないけど、ちょっと怖いじゃない？だから、うまくやれてるのか心配だったのよ。
That's definitely how I felt at first, too. He's not that scary. I respect him a lot, actually. Clara went wide-eyed, then grinned playfully. She probably smelled it. She probably can smell it.
へえ、セルジュさんのことを
Oh my god,
そんな風に
she smells it. Oh god, she can smell it. Well, oh. Our company reminded us of his presence.
エマ、見回りの途中だ。そろそろ行こう。
Sorry. See you later, Clara. Oh boy.
今度詳しく話を聞かせてね。
Oh. We set off again. Just then, a woman passed me by. Oh. She walked straight past the ticket booth and into the park with cold confidence.
どうした
That woman just went in without a ticket. I glanced in her direction.
ああ。
え
彼らは特別な客だ。
What do you mean
Kimi.
they're special? Special? Peered at her, nothing struck me as particularly special aside from her oddly swaying. Aww. Special how?
行こう。オートマタを確認しなければ。
Concerning? But okay. I followed closely behind him. My many questions about them and just what made them so special would go unasked and unanswered. VIPs probably? Several days passed and Sergei's replacement parts had finally arrived. That afternoon, I was off to pick them up at Monsieur Hugo's request. Finally, he can get his arm fixed. He's been struggling so much with just his left hand. It'd be nice to have some normalcy again. I sighed, but only partly in relief. Right, normalcy. Sergei will be back to work again. Won't need an assistant. The past week had been a hectic one. Sergei was a harsh teacher, but I would have been lying if I said I hadn't enjoyed sharing meals and conversations with him. That all has to end at some point. A mix of discomfort and loneliness gripped my chest. I'm being so dramatic. Perhaps it was my recent fixation on meeting Sergei's high expectations that was taking the wind out of my sails now. I've got the job down. Maybe he'll let me keep helping him. As once I get back. I hurried on. Okay. Oop. By the time I got back with the parts, the park had closed. Made straight for the administrative tent. Okay. Excuse me. Only Sergei and the director were there. The latter greeted me with a smile. I'm back. Here are the parts you needed. Handed him the bag, but he gently nudged it back.
ありがとう。でも、それは君が持っていて。
Okay. I pulled back. Monsieur Hugo set 2 chairs across from each other before sending Sergei a discomfitingly spirited glance.
さあ、部品が揃ったから、早速義手の修理を始めようか。
本当にやるのか？
もちろんだよ。セルジュ、そろそろ諦めたらどうだい？
What's going on? Doesn't he want his arm fixed?
こっちにおいで。君はこの椅子に。セルジュは向かいの椅子に座って。
Okay. I sat in the indicated chair and Sergei did the same. They were far closer together than I'd initially expected. I couldn't bring myself to raise my head. Monsieur Hugo stood between us and clapped his hands.
では、これから義手の修理講座を始めます。
What do you mean lecture? Sounded like a teacher for some reason. Lecture about what? I tilted my head. The director merely smiled.
そう。君に覚えてもらうための講座だよ。
Yeah, I know, but why am I here?
前に君のお父さんは遊具技師だと話していたよね。そのことを思い出して、義手の修理を君にも覚えてもらおうと思った。
Are you saying she's gonna be the one repairing it herself? Yes, I did mention that, but I've never worked on amusement park rides, much less prosthetics.
大丈夫。お父さんの血を継いだ君には きっと才能があるはずだよ。それに俺が一から教えるからね。
I'm scared. I'm worried. You winked. What do you mean winked? Just how many steps does that include? Why is he so insistent? Surely the man who made the arm is the right person to repair it. Oh, so wait. I hear a car. So I'm gonna be right back. I'll go open the door real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay. Okay. Where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. I looked to Serge for some kind of rescue, but based on the way he shook his head, it was clear none would come.
無駄だ。ヒューゴは言い出したら聞かない。
I figured.
よくわかっているね、セルジュ。二人とも心の準備はいいかい？
I sensed there was only one answer. Once I made my own peace, I looked at him straight on. Yes, I'm ready.
うん、いい返事だね。セルジュは？
始めてもらって構わない。
わかった。じゃあ改めて始めよう。
Monsieur Hugo's grin fell from his face.
では早速と行きたいところだけれど、始める前に君に伝えておくことがあるんだ。修理
Okay.
に
Okay.
君も見たように、セルジュの右腕は義手だ。でも機械化しているのはそれだけじゃない。
Huh?
心臓もだ。
Oh. Oh. Well, I guess that explains how he acts, I guess. Took me a moment to process what he just said. His art is artificial? I almost couldn't believe it. How was such a thing even possible? What? How? Why?
彼女にいきさつを話しても構わないかい？
He looked at Sergi.
私自身のことだ。自分の口から話そう。
Okay. A breath later, he began.
6年前、馬車にひかれそうになった少年をかばい、私は重傷を負った。
Oh.
業者の男はそのまま逃げたと後に聞いたが、助けを呼んだところで手遅れだっただろう。私の心臓は止まっていたのだから。そんな私の前に現れたのは、レーブ移動遊園地の園長ヒューゴだった。
園内の見回りをしていたら大きな音がして、何事かと正門へ向かったら血まみれの男性が倒れていたんだ。一目見て瀕死の状態だと分かった。今すぐに処置をしなければ男性は息を引き取るだろうと。でも俺はレイブの外には出られないから病院へ運ぶこともできない。
まだクリエたちスタッフがいないヒューゴ一人だった時期だ。
Okay.
未だに理解に苦しむが、よくそんな状況下で私を助けようと思ったものだな。
Sergei shrugged. Monsieur Hugo smiled.
あの時はとにかく必死だったんだよ。運び込んだ男性の心臓は止まっていた。もう手遅れかと諦めかけたけれど、俺に医学の心得はなかったけれど、オートマタを作るため人体の構造は把握していた。それを流用しようと思いついたんだ。
オートマタの技術を流用し、心臓と腕を作ろうなんて、普通の人間なら思いつかない。相当な変わり者だ。
それは褒めているのかい？
ああ、最上級の褒め言葉だ。私は幸運だった。機械の心臓を作ることができる唯一の人間に
So
助けられたのだからな。
he's partly automaton, not just his arm.
ヒューゴは私の命の恩人だ。
There was nothing but respect and admiration in Sergi's eyes. I remember him mentioning something.
先ほども言ったが、私の仕事はヒューゴの補佐だ。それに私はヒューゴに助けられた。
Man, what a bromance. That's why Sergi is so loyal to him. At any given moment, Hugo was the front of his mind. At last, his devotion bordering on obsession made sense. I take it everything worked? You replaced his arm and heart and he came back to life?
いや、すぐにではないよ。
What do you mean?
腕の取り付けはスムーズにいったけれど、残念ながら心臓はそうはいかなかった。
What happened then?
魔法だ。私のこの心臓は、レーブにかけられた魔法の力で動いているらしい。
Oh, wait. So, if you free him from the amusement park, that means...
初めて機械の心臓が動いた時、後になってルシオールに見てもらったら、魔法が作用していることが分かった。だから、レーブを離れると、
yeah.
セルジュの心臓は数時間で止まってしまう。
試してみた限りでは、3、4時間程度というところだ。
You tested it? Same question, yeah.
ああ。
Sergi answered mechanically, without a hint of gravitas the situation warranted. How is he so calm? This sounds so awful. If your V is the only thing keeping him alive, then that makes his situation no different from Monsieur Hugo's or the others. Something suddenly occurred to me. Wait, then what happens if I free you all? You said magic is the only thing keeping his heart moving.
心臓が停止し、いずれは死ぬだろう。
Oh, so he's stuck in the amusement park forever if he wants to stay alive. Yeah, that's one of a curse and a blessing. Yeah, so if we free him, he dies. But our work here is to free him. Free everyone in the park. How can he be so
あ
calm?
なたが驚くのも当然だ。だが私はその事実を受け入れているし、霊部からの解放にも賛成だ。
Okay. But why? If I free everyone, you'll... I shot an accusatory look at the director. A sad frown spread across his face.
俺はひどい男だ。セルジュを見殺しにしても解放されたいと願うなんてね。
私は6年前に死ぬはずだった。今まで生きながらえたことの方が奇跡だ。ヒューゴの願いが叶うなら、それでいい。
You're ready for this? They really want this knowing what it means. Everything I'd been working toward, everything I'd done, had been to make others happy, to make them smile. But who could smile at this? Surely there was a way. There had to be. My head swam with possibilities, grasping at any straw that might have been the one to save Serge. The story is so deep and sad. I mean, yeah, I went into this route without knowing anything, so there must be something. I think let's see there. Yes. How about using the magic? Yeah. That's it. Magic is what's keeping his heart moving, so why not use mine? Can we use my magic to keep his heart beating?
君が今度も魔法の覚醒をすれば可能だと思うよ。
ヒューゴ、その必要はない。あなたはただ霊部からの解放のことだけを考えればいい。
Why? And let you die?
私は自分のために誰かを縛りたくはない。あなたも私を助けようなどと考えるな。
Serge fixed me with an icy glare. I would need to be by his side at all times, constantly supplying him with magic to keep him alive. The idea would cause me some trouble. Still, it wasn't bad enough for me to simply let Serge die. There was a mountain of things I wanted to say to him, but the wall he built was impenetrable.
ごめんね、二人とも。空気がすっかり重くなってしまった。前置きが長くなったけれど、義手の修理が心臓にも影響を及ぼすかもしれない。そのことを伝えておきたかったんだ。
Constantly sustain him with magic will certainly not last long enough for years, yeah. Yeah, the MC will just run dry with magic at some point.
義手の修理を始めないとね。
Well, yeah, we still need to repair the prosthetic, yes. Monsieur Hugo clapped his hands in an attempt to lighten the mood. I was grateful for it. I let the tensions go from my shoulders and took a breath. I'm not ready to let this drop, but he's right. Yes, let's get started.
じゃあセルジュ、腕を出してもらえるかな？
わかった。
Serge removed his glove and slipped off his jacket.
上腕義手というものでね、肩から先がすべて金属でできているんだ。
Huh. Everything from the shoulder down is artificial. Okay. Painful looking scars marred the area where metal met flesh, evoking gruesome images. I looked away.
大丈夫か？君が悪ければやめても構わない。
I hastily shook my head. No, I'm okay. I just couldn't help but imagine how awful the accident must have been.
ああ、この傷か。跡は残ったが痛みはないし。
Felt his right hand with his left. That was when I first noticed the ornate markings in the metal of his prosthetic. They were beautiful. Sergei, Monsieur Hugo both blinked at me. Was that inappropriate of me?
ヒューゴも大概だが、あなたも相当な変わり者だな。
いい感性を持っているってことさ。ほら、ここを見てごらん。故障しているのは肩と肘の付け根だよ。
Okay. I spotted a crack just below his shoulder. The joint at his elbow was obscured, but several screws were bent and obstructing movement. So he just replaced his parts with the new ones?
この部分の取り替えは難しくないから、早速だけれどやってみようか。他の部品に影響が出ないように丁寧にね。
Oh boy. Right, excuse me, Sergei.
ああ、
Okay. The majority of the arm was cold to touch, save for the area connected directly to his shoulder. With the director's instruction, I proceeded to meticulously unscrew bolts and screws and replace the necessary parts. Suddenly, though, my hand slipped and it hit my tool against the neighboring part. Sorry.
大丈夫だ。
義手に痛覚や触覚はないからね。そんなに慎重にならなくても大丈夫だよ。
Well, Monsieur Hugo's consolations didn't do much to soothe my nerves. I returned to work, albeit extra carefully this time. Okay. With the parts replaced and oil applied, the repairs were complete. Wow. How did I do?
初めてにしては手際が良かったよ。セルジュもそう思うだろう？
まあ、初めてにしては。
I breathed a sigh of relief and the director smiled.
これなら大丈夫そうだね。安心して新しい仕事を任せられそうだ。
New job?
セルジュの義手の定期点検だよ。
Hugo, I know what you're trying to do. Sir, I know what you're trying to do here. I see you.
何を言っているんだ、ヒューゴ。できるわけがないだろう。
He's right. That was the first time I've ever even touched a prosthetic.
彼女は筋がいい。心配はいらないよ。
いくら筋が良くても、彼女は素人だ。今、
そうしたいのは山々だけれど、園長の仕事が忙しくてね。以前から誰かに任せたいと思っていたんだよ。
そういうことなら、私が自分でやる。
無茶だよ。ネジ一つ確認するにしても、自分じゃ見えない部分もあるんだから。それに、可愛い女の子に点検してもらう方が、君も嬉しいだろう？
Look at this wingman. This wingman right here.
別に嬉しくはない。
隠さなくてもいいんだよ、セルジュ。俺だったら大喜びだ。
はあ、嬉しい嬉しくないの問題じゃない。技術力の問題だ。
いや、 これは大事なことだよ。女の子、それも10くらい年の離れた子に見てもらえる機会なんてそうあることじゃない。
That sentence sounds so wrong, but okay. And I want Hugo's my wingman. Thanks for the hydrate. That sentence sounds so wrong though, Hugo. You didn't have to add the age, but okay. So, Sergey is like 27, apparently. Feel like we're getting off track. I had nervously set into my place as a third-party observer until Monsieur Hugo looked at my way.
そういえば、君はいくつだったかな？
Hugo about to call MC cute and funny, isn't he? Maybe. How old is... here we go. Here's the answer, I guess.
知らないで言っていたのか。
17? Izuku, here's your answer. Oh yeah, also we have a ad break, so I'm gonna wait for that before I continue. Yes, the MC 17. Do as you will with that info, I guess. Is this allowed? With consent, I guess? Probably? Again, this is a Japanese game originally, so there's probably a difference in how this is viewed there. So, with consent, I guess? Also, yeah, Potato getting Fortnite ad. Guess that makes sense, yeah. I'm not really sure about the age of consent in Japan. I think I heard it was 14, but I forgot. I really forgot. But also, this is in Paris though, so well, the game setting is in Paris, so I actually have no idea. It's a setting where typewriters are a thing. Pretty sure it's 16, I think. I'm not from Japan, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really sure because I'm not from the country. So I'm not really sure. Okay, ad break is done. Let's continue. But yeah, MC 17, and I'm guessing that Sergey's at 27.
へえ、セルジュは27歳なんだよ。
Yeah, he is 27, so it's a 10-year gap. I don't know how to feel about that, but oh, I guess we're 10 years apart.
まさか10も年下の女性に手ずから食べさせてもらっていたとは情けない。
Ah, he's the ag age. So what a big gap, yeah.
セルジュ？
I get it, yeah.
いや、なんでもない。
とまあ冗談はここまでにして、さっきも言った通り、遊具技師の父を持つだけあって、彼女は筋がいい。今後の定期点検は彼女に任せる。これは延長命令だよ。
承知した。
改めてセルジュのこと よろしくね。
Well, okay. I'll do my
これで
best.
話はまとまったね。それじゃあ数日後に定期点検を行うことにしよう。では解散。
Clap his hands, signaling the end of the lecture. Okay. Before leaving, Monsieur Hugo made sure to impress upon Sergi the importance of restraint until we could verify everything was in working order. My job as Sergi's assistant continued into the next day. Yesterday's events whirled inside my head as I counted the ticket stubs. Freeing everyone for the reveille would mean Sergi's death. His heart would stop, and he was okay with that. I didn't like it, and no amount of thinking helped me to understand him any better. How can he just accept it? Who doesn't want to live? One option was to awaken my magic and use that to keep his heart beating, but Sergei had vehemently refused. In his own words, he didn't want to live at another's expense. Why does he have to see it like a transaction? He knew that deep down Sergei was a kind soul. What he hated was the idea of sacrifices for his sake.
エマ、どうした？
え？
さっきから手が止まっている。
Oh. Oh, sorry.
考え事でもしていたのか？
well, can't exactly open up this can of worms again. No, it's nothing.
まあいい。今日はもう帰ってもらって構わない。
But there's still work left.
この後約束があって、私はここを離れてしまう。だから、あなたもたまには早く上がってくれ。
Oh, okay then. Put away my things and said goodbye and left. The sky was the matter red of twilight. It was rather early to leave, even by my prior standards. Even after my magic practice, it likely would be very late into the night. One more push, then home. Okay, minigame time, I think. And then, I think we're close to ending chapter 5. Yep, minigame time. You like to skip? No, I'm doing the minigame. I like the minigame.
集中して臨んでほしい。その調子だ。悪くない。順調じゃないか。ヒューゴの望みが叶う日も近そうだ。
Guess he wanted to be alone and do some thinking, probably. That took longer than expected. I should hurry home before Madame Alice gets worried. Night had fallen by the time I'd finished. I was hurrying to the gate when I heard what sounded like a voice. I glanced around to find two men muttering behind a tree in the distance. Oh. Oh. That's Sergei, but who is that other man? Looked to be about the same age. I didn't recognize him, but I did recognize the uniform. Monsieur Daniel wears the same one. He's in the army. What are they talking about? Curiosity locked me in place for a long moment. Oh. Sergei's expression softened. I've never seen him look so at peace before. While they're chatting. Couldn't get that image out of my head. Never thought I'd see him like that. Who was that army man, I wonder? Arnold had told me the military was investigating the Hamlet phenomenon. Judging by what I'd seen, at least that had seemed to have been the topic of conversation, thankfully. Maybe he's an old friend. I wouldn't expect Sergi to be close with someone who looks so friendly. They're like polar opposites. It was somewhat rude observation, but one I allowed myself nonetheless. Okay then. Okay.
ではみんな、今日も一日よろしくね。
Up, I'm gonna save there. And since we're on chapter 6 now, I think that's it for today. Quick screenshot. Yeah, I need it for the thumbnail next week, so yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna raid out for now. Sure. I'm gonna go raid out to who is up right now though? Posture check. Yeah. I wonder if other people are playing otome games at the moment. Nope, no one. Visual novels? I don't think anyone is playing any visual novels. Let's see. Let's just go raid Zane. Zane is playing Dincom? I don't know how you pronounce that game, but yeah. Oh, she's with I think she's with Mika at the moment. Oh. Yeah, let's go raid Zane. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Arc. Time to raid. Yay, time to raid. Yeah, we're changing the plans for tomorrow from Ragnarok to Arc since yeah, we had some change of plans. Yeah. Hopefully it will be okay. I'll have to like we'll have to see if Arc will work just fine on stream. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow for Arc. Thank you for staying while I play otome games. But yeah, see you guys tomorrow. I'll go and go get dinner. Yeah, I'll probably log into Arc tonight as well, just to do some preparing for tomorrow. Yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.